No statement, so just questions. I mean, just tell us what you thought. We talked Thursday, you said you needed 15 practices, so what did you see out of practice 15? What did you see out of the other 14 that you can evaluate?
Yeah, the pleasing thing for me was clean football. Relatively clean football. I thought all three quarterbacks operated. I'm not saying we made all the right decisions or all the right throws, but I thought we operated pretty well. I was pleased defensively. We came back in the second half and played more like we're capable of playing on that side of the ball. We were purposefully vanilla on each phase, but I was pleased. I think we came out of it healthy, didn't have any injuries, and I thought some people that we needed to play well today performed well. Started Aubrey Burks with his interception on defense. Thought Lee Koba showed up and I don't know how many tackles he had, but I thought he was productive. Charles Woods had a good spring. He had a good spring game. I think our D line, we didn't do as much what they're good at as far as moving them, but I think they were solid. I thought some of the younger D linemen, Torres Simmons, thought he did a nice job today. At the bandit position, Jared and Linnell, each of them probably, if we were playing a real game, they probably had a couple more sacks. And I'm proud of the growth that those two guys have had. And then offensively, I think the receivers were productive. We feel good about those guys, and I thought they were productive. I think a couple of those second group of O-linemen, I thought Jordan White was good today, and that was a positive step for him.
Is it difficult to get a really good read on the running game when you're, more tagging and thudding rather than that, to see who can, break tackles, do some of those end runs?
With the first group of offense, without question. And it's always risk-reward on that as far as, do you tackle, do you not tackle? We just made the decision, hey, with that first group that we weren't, that we were just going to thud it. But without question, that plays to the defensive hands because they're just getting in position. They're not having to finish the play. But it is harder to run the ball. And purposely, I don't know what our stats were, but we wanted to, on purpose, put some pressure on the quarterbacks and throw the ball more today than we normally would.
Fox been that productive all spring?
He's been productive. We put him on scholarship in the locker room. So those are some of the best moments. Is parents came in the locker room and he earned a scholarship. He's been super productive. The next steps for him is he's got to do it versus the top guys. But really pleased with him. He's a guy that had an opportunity, and he made the most of that opportunity over these 15 practices, and he earned the scholarship.
They earned a award in Nick Malone. What do you see out of Nick, not just this spring, but through his career that helped him? Yeah,
so Nick is a guy that, he was, he came, we kind of recruited him there early on in 19 when we first got here, an athletic guy that was thin. And what he's done is he's really worked on his body over the last 3 years to put himself in a position where right now we feel like he can be a quality backup. And he played a tight end on field goal all year last year. He played tight end in the last 2 games of the season. And he's done extremely well in the classroom. He's worked. He's been absolutely no issue, and he's grown into a player. So that was an award that over the course of the last 3 years that he's really earned. Not necessarily anything over the spring, but over the accumulation of how he's worked over 3 years.
The 2 plays coming out of halftime,
the Bryce.
Floyd Wheaton. What kind of hope does that give for big play offense?
Well, that's something we've got to improve on, Bob. I mean, we've talked about explosive plays. It's something that when we won last year, we had those, and when we didn't, and when we played some of the better defenses that we played, we struggle with that, and we've got to be able to do it. We feel like we got length, not only Bryce but Caden Prather, and that's something we've put a lot of time and effort into over the spring. They're going to have to continue that work on their own over the summer. But, Bryce has really been on an upward trajectory his whole career. He redshirted the year before we came. His first year he played a little bit, played more as the year went. Second year in 20, there were some really high points. I thought last year he's more consistent, and now I think you'll see his production continue to increase.
Where do you go from here? I mean, you've gone through the winter conditioning, now this part. where do you need to be by the time you get them back in August?
Yeah, so we got 1 week of classes left, and we'll do some things this week to finish up the semester, and then you got finals, and then you get about 3 weeks off. Not all of them. Some of them will be here, but a good percentage of them will get 3 weeks. I think it's important. You know, this has become a year-round, you know, and this is their biggest chunk of time is just during the May. And they put in so much work, they deserve some. And your body needs some time to recoup. And then, you know, they've gone 8 weeks in the weight room and through conditioning, and they've gone 5 weeks of practice and lifting on the off days. And so they'll get a little break, and then we come back, we'll bring them back on Memorial Day, and we got 9 weeks to get 8 in. And so I think the summer is going to be really important for us. You know, we're going to add, you know, I think 18 more people to the mix on scholarship, another 15 or so that are going to be preferred walk-ons. So, you know, we got to get them acclimated, and we've got some guys that are younger players that must continue to develop as we go through the summer.
You said you wanted your quarterbacks to be in some pressure spots today, just final judgment, and especially the top three there.
Yeah, just watching them behind, which is sometimes misleading a little bit, but watching them today, I thought Goose Crowder, that was the best day he's had all spring, which is encouraging. You know, in a game like atmosphere, that was his best day. I thought he made some nice throws down the field. He got off to a good start, you know, which is also good to see. You know, and I thought Garrett, you know, had the bad interception where he didn't do a good job with the safety there, but he made some plays with his feet, and I thought he showed some accuracy on some intermediate throws, something that he needed to improve on. I thought Nico had some flash plays, you know, and today, you know, and I've said this, and I'm not taking up for him or anything, but like he's got really good ability, but he's a high school senior, you know what I mean? Like, and he's going to be a lot better in fall camp. And we've got to continue to work and continue to teach him the offense and teach him defense. And the summer player practices are going to be critical for him because he'll get reps against fast people. And the more reps he gets, the better he's going to be. But I thought he showed some signs running the football today, which was good. That's how he played in high school. And I thought he got hit and got back up and had good energy.
You wanted to change offensively. There were certain aspects that you said had to be different, better, I guess, to the word too. Can you just step back now after 15 and say this looks different, this looks more like what we want? Are there
Well, yeah, I think that the one thing we've got to do is be more explosive. I think that's what we've got to be more consistent running the football versus quality people. I think those are the two main improvements we've got to do, along with taking care of the football. Change of scheme is not going to affect taking care of the football, but I think the other two can. And then I thought it was really important that we had a different voice in that room. And what Graham's done, he's brought a confidence. You know, he's got good swagger but he's humble. You know, and I think that's been a really effective in that room. And some of our older guys are really some of our best workers, and they've been really productive, and I think that helps. So I feel good about where we're at offensively as we hit the summer. Do we have to get better? Yes. You know, we need some depth at some positions, probably so. But I do like our mix. And I think we made strides on those explosive plays like Bob asked, and our consistency running the football.
Offensive line, your analysis after spring, I mean, you'd hope with the experience that they would produce.
Mm-hmm. This is the best that we've ran the football. You know, and I think that Jaquay Hubbard and Jordan White made strides, which is something that we needed. You know, I think that Nick Malone is somebody that you asked about earlier, but he continues to show, you know, and so those were positives, and that's a group. I think it speaks really highly of that group. Two of those guys won the Iron Mountaineer, you know, which shows kind of what they're doing in the offseason and how they're working to put themselves in a position to be successful.
I asked you at the beginning of the spring about offensive line, defensive line identity. You were hesitant to really talk about that. Where are they now? Are they what you see from the defense, D-line, offensive line, O-line, offense?
Yeah, well, I think that both sides, you know, front line, we have a chance. You know, I think if you can be, if you're big and physical up front on both sides, you got a chance to win games. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to continue to work on the depth, and some of those younger guys got to continue to get stronger. You know, and that's why it's so critical over the next next run here, that we continue to get our weights where they need to be and our strength where they need to be.
Okay, anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank you all.